All right. Certainly was a very nice win on Senior Day. I think it speaks to the preparation of our players. I thought we had a really nice week. I also think it says a lot about our assistant coaches as well. Could have lost this team at midseason, given the many things that have been written and discussed and so forth with the number of injuries and some things we could control and couldn't control. But I also think it speaks to the culture and the program that we have continued to try to establish here. But certainly a great win. We wanted to come out and be very aggressive. I thought we did that. Obviously 42-10 at half. Played with our hair on fire in all three phases. Certainly creating 6 turnovers, 4 pass interception, I believe, and two fumble recoveries. I believe that's right. And one of those was a pick 6. But Sam, Houston showed the heart of a champion. I mean, you had 2 champions playing out there. And, they roared back in the second half. You knew they wouldn't take it laying down. And then we were able to separate and ultimately win the game by 18 points. A nice win against a top 10 opponent. We both tied for 3rd in our conference. Certainly, we get the nod because we won the head-to-head competition. So as we reflect on the seniors and their careers over the last 4 years, they had a couple of 7-win seasons and near misses to get into the postseason. A couple of 9-win seasons, a conference title, 2 postseason appearances, some top 25s. They never finished worse than 3rd in the conference, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd during their whole careers, and averaged 8 wins a season during their career here. And that's playing Division I football in a power conference. Very proud of that. Moving forward, nice year. There were things that we could control that we need to do better and better choices. There's some things that we couldn't control that I'm kind of proud of, though. This football team could have fallen apart at mid-year, our coaching staff, but they all didn't leave their wingman. We didn't leave our wingmen, and we held it together. They followed the message, and certainly wasn't always pretty, but really good coaching effort by a staff and a really committed group of young people. Or you don't do what you did on Saturday if you got problems. And that's not to say you don't have day-to-day things that you deal with, but this team held together and this coaching staff held together. I'm really, really proud of how they handled some tough adversity. You lose a NFL player at linebacker, your leading tackler, your heart and soul of your defense for 3 games. And then the other things that we've had to endure from a depth standpoint. So very proud of that. Thought our team matured, and that was evident, I think, by some of the quality play down the stretch. And our quarterbacks, particularly on the offensive side of the football, Winrick didn't have that maturity experience. Desmond Lewis was the only bona fide receiver we had coming back from last year. All the other receivers combined had less than 20 career catches. 20 career catches. And so we struggled at wide receiver, and Winrick struggled a little bit, trying to do too much and, this, that, and the other. I mean, all things we've talked about over the year. But then, by midseason, that inexperienced receiving corps started growing up a little bit. And they responded to Ryan, and it wasn't always perfect again, but really did some good things. And we got the running game going a little bit, which we had to lean on it and make it work. And so I think we did some things adjustment-wise during the open day, and then after we lost some of our key players. Lost a big player now in Chase Dixon, and I still think he's going to play on Sundays. I really believe that. And but he was just getting ready to launch the second half of his senior season to just another level that we haven't seen here in the last 5 or 6 years at his position. So, but again, some programs, 7 wins is pretty good, and it is pretty good, But we have higher expectations here. We're here to compete for championships and conference titles. That's why I'm still here, and that's why these kids come here. And we talked about that with the underclassmen last night. And that's not to diminish what happened here this year, because there's some awesome things that happened here. Win your opening game, you win homecoming, you win senior day, you beat a top 10 team. You got a BCS school on the ropes. The national exposure that this program received through all the different media outlets. I mean, there's some awesome things that happened here this year, but we want a little bit more. And that's the competitive nature of myself and our coaching staff and our players. And I think we've got a great launching point here of how we finish the season.